Once upon a time, when I checked my results, hoping I would get an A just as planned. In fact, I won't get anything close to an A that I planned initially. Usually, I do get a C or a D. And in fact, I get angry with myself when I see these results. Based on the mistakes that I've made, I've been able to discover a secret hack that has been helping me to score very close to what I've planned. Right here on this video, I'll be telling you how you can score very high in any of your exams in the university, in which I'll be exposing to you my secret hack. But before then, please kindly subscribe to this channel in order not to miss any of my videos if you really want to improve yourself in your academics, and also give this video a thumbs up. The very first thing that has really helped me to score very high in my exams in the university is that I try as much as possible to know my lecturer. Now, there are 3 things you should know about your lecturer when it comes to scoring very high in your exam. Of course, it's going to be the one to set these questions in your exam, so it's very important to know what you want. First one, know his question format. The second one, know what it says in class, and that will lead us to the third one, which is that will actually help you to have an idea of how he wants you to answer his questions. Number 1 is know his question format. How does he set his questions? You can only discover that when you go to the past questions. Then the second one is know what it says in class, and you can only know that when you attend classes. When you attend classes, you'll be able to discover what he wants and what he doesn't want in your exams, and that is how you'll be able to know how he wants you to answer his questions in his exam. It's very important. There are some lecturers that they want you to write as much as you can in your exams. Give a full detail of a particular concept they ask you to explain in the exam, and there are some lecturers that they just want you to just go straight to the point, and they can only know that when you go for classes. So when you go for classes, you'll be able to discover what he wants, and while you are writing your exam or while you are studying, you'll be able to study the right way or know what you need to study in order to be able to pass this exam. It's very important. Another important thing that has helped me to score very high in my exams is that I try as much as possible to make the right decision while I'm writing my exams. Although before now, I do make the wrong decisions. I will actually explain what I mean by decision while you're writing your exam. Before now, I do make the wrong decision, and no matter how much I've studied, I still fail my exams because I didn't actually make the right decision. And what I mean by making the right decision while you're writing your exam is that when you are given a question paper in your exam and you have questions, you have series of questions in your exam. You have the compulsory ones. You always have the compulsory ones, and you always have the ones that you are free to answer. Of course, the compulsory ones you can't debate about it. You have to answer them. But the other options that you have to try as much as possible to pick the right one, and you can only make the right decision by picking the one that you actually know very well, and you can give out enough information about it, rather than going for another one that you actually know but you can't give a full detail of what that thing is all about. Or if it's a mathematics exam, pick a question that you can solve very well and you are confident that you can solve, and you can actually, or pick a question that you feel is very easy for you to solve and you can get your marks straight up, rather than picking a question that will put you into problem, and at the end of the day you won't get your full mark. The next thing that has actually helped me to score very high in my exam in the university is that I make sure I give myself enough sleep before going for the exam. Now, most students are quite fond of this. When they have an exam the next day, they tend to read till they want to read till when they tell them start your exam. They'll start carrying on the books around and they want to read everything, keep reading till they say the exam should start. But this is a very wrong practice, and I've actually fallen into the trap of doing that, and it has actually failed me, because there was a time when I did that. I kept reading, I didn't sleep, I kept reading. Overnight, I got to the exam, or even before they started the exam, I kept reading. And when they gave me the question paper and I'm supposed to start, then I forgot everything that I studied. Almost everything. I forgot almost everything. And all my hours of reading wasted. So it's very important for you to sleep. When you sleep, you are actually putting your brain to rest. And the brain is actually consolidating most of the informations you've studied before, and it's storing them into the long-term memory when you sleep. So it's very important to sleep before you read and you sleep after you read. This can actually help you to retain more of the informations, and it will actually help you to record them better while in the exam hall. It is very important. So make sure you sleep right before going for your exam. Make sure you have enough sleep, and this will actually help you well while in the exam hall. The next thing is that you should study everything you need to study. Now, students can be lazy at times while reading, and they won't be able to cover most of the materials that they are given to them, or most of the things they need to read at their disposal. They tend to be lazy and they just read some of these things, and mind you, those things that you are lazy to read can surface in your exam. It's very important to study, put justice to everything you need to read. And when I say you should put justice to everything you need to read, you don't have to read everything all at once, like back to back, back to back, back to back. Just space your learning while you are reading these things. This includes your past question, this includes recommended textbooks, this includes test questions that you've done in your class or the lecturer has given you as an assignment. And this includes your notebook in class also. So read everything you need to read, put justice to everything you need to put justice to, and understand every concept you need to understand before you go for your exam. Don't leave anything out. Study everything you need to study, because you don't know which one that will come in exam, and anyone you see, you'll be able to solve them very well. So don't be lazy to leave some things out and study some things. Read everything you need to study, and you can do this quite well when you start your studying way before your exam, because when you start studying way before your exam, you have enough time to cover most of these things while they are going on. And by the time your exam is very close, all you have to just do is to revise. You'll be solid, you'll be well equipped for the exam. And when you sleep well, like I said in my last point, be able to recall most of these things that you read, and your exam will go on smoothly. Now, another point that has actually helped me to score very high in any of my exam in the university is that I don't read every day. I do read every day, but not back to back, like I said in my last point. Not back to back repetition. You have to be able to space your learning, distribute your learning over a quiet period of time, and you must have space in between your initial study and your review. Because when you have your initial study and your review back to back, there's a very high tendency that you actually forget most of it. Actually, you remember at the first instance, but you will forget, because it will not yield long-term retention. You can only an information or what you study can yield long-term retention only if you space your learning between the initial study and your review time. So when you space this learning, it will actually help you to understand most of this information more, and it will even help you to transfer most of your learning. What I mean by transfer most of your learning, it will help you to, so far you've known some basic things, some fundamentals. It will help you to be able to understand most of the complex things you'll be learning when you space your learning. So, but when you read back to back, when you read massed practice, when you read like back to back, you are actually stressing out yourself, and you are not giving your brain time to actually work on these informations in your brain, and you actually remember at the short time, but at the long term you will forget. And that's what most of you know as cramming. You understand at the short time, you know everything at the short term, but immediately after, sometimes when you are asked that question, you will forget. or you'll not even be able to remember. So it's very important to space your learning. And the next point that has really helped me to score very high in my university in any of my exams is that I still manage to have some fun. So now, when you space your learning and in between those spaces, try as much as possible to engage with other things, be it any other thing that you can just have some fun. And during that time, you not paying attention to what you read will actually help in long-term retention. So by the time you have some fun in between, or you just gist with some of your friends, or you just do any other thing that is quite different from your studying, and you go back, you'll be able to remember most of these things very well. So try as much as possible to still have some fun while you are studying. You don't have to study for 12 hours. You don't have to study for 10 hours. Just do bit by bit, have some fun, study, space your learning, ease yourself, study way before, and you'll be able to carry these things into your long-term memory rather than just back-to-back study. Like I said, back-to-back repetition is very important. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to click on the subscribe button if you got so much value from this video, and don't forget to also like this video. And also you can check this video on other informations you need to pass your exam exceedingly apart from what I said in this video. So thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video.